Hi, this is Dan with Dan's Everything Outdoors, and today I'm doing a follow-on video to a simple pack that I carry with me when I go day packing with my kids or family, and I just want something simple around my waist, not a lot of weight on my back. And I noticed that I thought I had left a couple things out of the last video, and I did because they were stuffed in a little side pocket. And then I thought I'd talk about a couple things that you could add to it and that I will probably add to my little pack. And then what I want to do is cover how some of these smaller packs can integrate into your bigger packs, and maybe that would be a help to you in planning out what kind of things you carry with you on a trip. So let's get started. First I want to mention this is the High Sierra butt pack or waist pack that I had covered that I'd done in a previous video. And in here I mentioned a lot of things about this pack, and that this pack was simply something I would carry with me most days, or if I went on a day pack. And many of these items in this kit were things that I'm probably going to be wearing on my body once I go out. Probably like this Leatherman Wave, I'm probably going to wear it on my neck. I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to be putting this Mora knife on my side or around my neck. And then other things I'm going to carry in my pocket, probably water filter and bandana, things like that, as well as sunglasses. So the couple things that I had forgot to mention on that video, and I'm going to include in this video, were things that were slidden in one of the little small side pockets inside here, and I thought I'd go over those real quick. So a couple things that were in there that were not mentioned was I have this mirror that I carry with me, still in the package. I could take it out, but it's kind of protective and this doesn't take up a lot of space in there. I keep a signal mirror in there, very important. I think whenever you go out you need a way to be able to signal as part of your base kit. Not that it's an emergency kit, but that it would be helpful if you had an emergency. So I put a mirror in there, that was already in there. I had in there a Fresnel lens for people that you want to see something up close, you have trouble reading things. I a lot of time have trouble reading very small handwriting or writing, like what would be on the back of these aqua tabs that are also in there. I can't read that writing, it's just too small. So I carry this with me. I could help it to light a fire by bending it in the sun and getting the right focal, or I could use it just to see things a little bit closer up. So that was already in there, along with these aqua tabs. Each one of these tabs does 0.75 liters, so more than enough for my small 16-ounce bottle there. And I forgot to mention there are 10 of those total, 5 of these packets, and 2 in each one of those. I also have a die sharp. This is a diamond sharpener that I keep in there. This one is the fine, because most times when I go out my knives are already really sharp and I just want to keep them true. So I carry that in there with me. One of the most notable items I think to mention is that I keep tinfoil with me. And tinfoil to me is very useful. It's extremely lightweight, and this was in the packet, but I thought I'd talk about it just a little bit more, because tinfoil can be used as a signal device. If you think about it, that's 4 sheets right here. 4 sheets seems huge, but it's not very much when you fold it up. These could be used for signaling. These could be used for cooking. These could be used to form containers. They could be used to wrap things in. Something that you maybe caught a fish and something like that, want to wrap it in there and cook it. Just all different purposes of tinfoil, and I thought I'd just give that a quick mention. Not going into great detail on that today, but that was already in there. A couple things that I thought that I am going to add, and other items that you could add, I'm going to talk about those as well. One of the items that I thought it would be nice to add to this kit, because typically they are in a lot of my smaller kits, is a small container of hand sanitizer. And this hand sanitizer can be used, for hand sanitizer obviously, but it can also be used to help light fires and things like that. So that's going to be added to the kit. I also already had this 50-foot length of paracord, but what I did is I took number 12 bank line, and this number 12 bank line is about 130 feet. So I could replace the 50 feet with the 130 feet, or I could just add the additional 130 feet to that. So now I have a good ridge line for whatever type of setup I want to set up, and then I could have this bank line for tying out to some stakes I would probably make. So I'm going to add both of those for now. The other thing I was missing, and I almost always have in all my other packs, is Afterbite. And this is mainly for the kids and for the wife, or I don't think I've ever used this before, but this could be for mosquito stings or for wasp stings, bee stings and things like that. So I'm going to add that to this kit just because we're out as a family, we're doing things, and is it likely that one of the kids is going to get stung by something, and then this would be just something additional. One of the things I'm considering adding to this kit, and I don't need to because I've already got these 55-gallon drum liners, 2 of these, and they're 6 mil. But this would be a Bivvy, and this is the SOL outdoor Bivvy, and I've never used this before, but in an emergency situation I could use these. Alright, and that would act as maybe a sleeping bag, just a little additional warmth. It's fairly small, but my whole body's going to fit in there. If this doesn't take too much space in this pack, I'm going to add it. If it takes up too much space, I'm probably going to remove it. The one thing I've found is that you can just continue to go on and on and on with the number of things that you do add to this pack, and then it just gets to be too much weight. And you're trying to keep it simple. You're trying to keep it that it's small enough that you're going to carry it with you every time. The minute it starts to get a little bit too heavy, then you don't carry it with you. And I'm going to cover that a little bit with how you add one pack to another pack to come up with a comprehensive pack, but always have the basics with you. We'll cover that. 2 items that are optional, I may or may not add, and that is some lightweight gloves. In the summertime, and when I'm out, I'm typically going to have a long sleeve shirt or a fleece jacket with me, even in the summertime. Something that I carry lightly with me around my waist, that if it does get a little bit cold or if I get wet, I can get a little bit warmer. And so that fleece jacket, what would go with that would be, you saw earlier in my video, I have a mosquito net. I've only ever had to use this one time, but if I were spending the night in the woods and there were lots of mosquitoes, if I have a long sleeve shirt on, if I have a mosquito net, if I have some really lightweight gloves I can put on, then I am totally wrapped up and protected from mosquitoes, and I'm just going to get a better night's sleep. So this is really an optional item that I may or may not add to this. So I'll put it over here. And the last item that I'm not going to add to mine, because I've already got it covered in several different ways, and that is you could add something as simple as a survival reflective tint. And all this is really going to do is keep you a little drier. It's going to keep some warmth on you. You're not going to have a good night's sleep with this. It's not a shelter. It's just if you had to use it. So probably for me, I'm not going to add this to this kit because I've already got these 55-gallon drum liners that I can use, and I've already got a rain poncho, and I've already got a emergency blanket, and I would likely have this Bivvy. So all those things are probably covered. I'm not going to add that, but that could be something as an option for you to add to your small kit. One thing I don't have with me today, and that will get added to this small waist pack kit, butt kit, is going to be a Silky PocketBoy saw. And that's because I believe that whenever you go out, you have a cutting tool, a knife, something to cut. You really need a knife. And little knives that are on my Leatherman Wave is just not going to cut it for building a small shelter. So I'm going to get a Silky PocketBoy saw, and I'm going to put it in here to this pack, and this will make it about as complete as I'm going to get it, because I do put in here some other some snacks and things to eat, and after that point it just starts getting too big and I'm not going to be able to carry it, and I'm not going to want to carry it. So I want to keep it as light as possible for me to use. Alright, just wanted to add that in there. So that covers what's in that kit. What I wanted to take a moment to do as well is to cover how could this be part of a more comprehensive kit when you go out. So let's take a couple minutes to talk about that. I want to talk just a little bit about modular kits, and I'll cover this in a better detail in a later video. But this can be part of an additional pack if you wanted it to. This pack is typically, it's just designed to go out on a day hike, but it could be a base kit to a bigger pack. And let's talk about base kits real quick. Let's say I'm going out on a hike with my family, and all of a sudden they want to bring more stuff with them. And I just happen to have a backpack here. Keeping something modular, this is a base kit. It has most things I'm going to need in it. I can easily, you know, add this to this pack right here, along with what other things I want to bring. If I was going to bring more water, maybe a cook kit, I'm going to cook something out there, some foods in here, some jackets, things like that. The kids want to be in hammocks and they want a tarp over them. We can throw that in there. This as a base kit when I go out on a hike. So talking about base kits real quick, I have a later video that's going to go into more of this idea of base kits. And what I'm talking about is something that has everything in it that allows you to just slip it into a pocket of a backpack and then know you've got all the basics covered. And now you can put more things in here, like your food, a hatchet, maybe a larger knife, it's your cookware, any sleeping gear if you want to sleep overnight, a hammock, a tarp, maybe you slip a tent in there. But you've got all your basics covered. It does a couple things. It allows you to not forget something and have your basics covered, but also allows you to, when you get to camp, you can just pull this out of here and put it on your hip, right, on your belt, or you can put it in some cargo pockets. Will fit something like this. A lot of cargo pockets. Some other pants will fit these in there. Okay, similar to this other small kit, base kit I have here. It's already in my pocket. Another example, this one's a little smaller. There's another review of this already online. And in here is things like, you know, you've got a striker, you got a small compass, you got a lighter, you've got some cordage, you've got emergency poncho, emergency blankets, and water purification tablets and water bags, as well as other fire starting aids. Go back and watch that video. And then this video is coming up as well as a video that's going to cover really talking about how to make a kit, a backpack, more modular by creating kits. Whether it is something like this, right? It's a day hike, meant to be a day hike pack, but you can throw it in there. Or it's something like this, very comprehensive kit that by itself you can go out with. But if you wanted to throw some additional items, for me that would probably be a hammock and a tarp. I can just drop it into this bag and then put those other items in there. When I get to camp, I can leave all this behind, whatever weight, whatever food, whatever additional water might be, and then I just throw this on my shoulder. All right, and walk around and explore, do some foraging, whatever it might be. So thank you for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me some likes, subscribe if you like as well, and I've enjoyed talking to you. But in the meantime, go out and enjoy everything outdoors.